Come join us here at the Cabaret. That's the Ray Stevens CabaRay and Showroom right here in West Nashville. We're easy to find at the Charlotte Avenue exit off I-40 West. It's the place in Nashville for a special entertainment and dining experience. There's great food, all your favorite wines and mixed drinks, a fun piano bar where you can sing along and dance. And there's the Ray Stevens Show, where I'll sing all my biggest hits with Nashville's best musicians and singers. So whether it's a special date night, entertaining friends and family, or you're just coming out to sing along in the piano bar, whatever your reason, the Cabaret is a fun place to enjoy a full night of entertainment. And the parking is free. So come see me, Ray Stevens, at the Cabaret. Call 615-327-4630 or go to RayStevensCabaRay.com. Make your plans now.
From the Ray Stevens Studios in the heart of Nashville's Music Row in Music City, USA, it's Ray Stevens CabaRay Nashville.
My heart keeps going back to Nashville. That's the only place for me. My love is waiting there in Nashville. Nashville, Tennessee.
With Ray's guest, John Rich, and the A-Team. Bubba, you and Earl keep it down back there. Here comes Ray Stevens.
Thank you. I had lost the family feud in the newlywed game, and my concentration was in jeopardy. Love's wheel of fortune was causing me pain. I had struck out behind doors 1, 2, and 3. Then you said sign in please in the dating game. I was bachelor number 1, I thought your love was real. Yeah, you said come on down, you just want a brand new start. You said the secret word and I said let's make a deal. Oh, but love is just a game to you. The survey says it's true, and we all can name that song. Would the real you please stand up? 'Cause I have had enough of the show that you put on. I thought the price was right when you asked me what's my line. I said, I've got a secret, but I'll tell you, it's a $64,000 question, but will you be mine? I was betting it all, I was gonna sell you. But who do you trust? You bet your life and you're wrong. To tell the truth, I never thought you'd give me the gong. Instead of a treasure hunt, it was just a laugh-a-thon, just putting me on, stringing me along. Oh, love, it's just a game to you. The survey says it's true, and we all can name that song. Would the real you please stand up? 'Cause I have had enough of the show that you put on. It's just a game to you. The survey says it's true, and we all can name that song. Would the real you please stand up? 'Cause I have had enough of the show that you put on. Oh, love, it's just a game to you. The survey says it's true, and we all can name that song. The real you please stand up? 'Cause I have had enough of the show that you put on. Thank you. We got a great show for you at the Cabaret tonight, so get your cold drinks, your potato chips, your Fritos, your Cheetos, and all that stuff, because here we go. Please welcome John Rich. You know, you've made quite an entrance as not only a singer, but a songwriter and a producer. Now, these folks may not know, but name some of the folks that you have produced that will give you credentials to be a producer, which you certainly have.
Well, some of my favorite country singers of all time, I got to produce, like John Anderson.
Oh, gosh, yeah. John.
You hear just saying his name, you go, oh, right? I mean, what a voice. You never mistake John Anderson. I've always told him that, I said, you're the George Jones of my generation because you're the only one that sounds like that, man. Oh, thank you, Brother John. You know, he's so nice. We got to write a lot of songs together and produce them. I got to produce some tracks on Kenny Rogers. But then some of the new acts, Ray, I'm kind of like you. I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and I'm always thinking, and we're blessed to be Americans. We got to grow up in America, so we get to, you know, if you got a wild idea, you're allowed to chase it. And so far, at this time,
yeah.
Well, we'll keep chasing it no matter what they say. How about that? They ain't stopping that around here. But I remember, for instance, being downtown in Nashville one night, and it was at a blues bar down in Printer's Alley. And towards the end of the night, the blues band up there said, hey, it's last call, and before we close the bar tonight, we want to invite our bartender to get up here and sing a couple songs. And, of course, I look up, and it's the girl that I've been ordering drinks from or whatever. I said, well, of course, she's a singer. We're in Nashville. So I'm saying, all right, I'll stay around, see if she's any good. She gets up there and hits this first song, and it's like somebody had burned the oxygen out of the room. I mean, you just went, what am I looking at? At least it was for me. And I'm watching her, and I kind of just froze. And then she sings the second one, and here it comes again. And I went, who is this girl? She ain't no bartender. And so I went up to her bar as she was closing out, introduced myself, and asked her to start singing demos for me on some of the songs I was writing. And she said, okay, I'll do it. And we became friends, and that was Gretchen Wilson.
Gretchen.
And she wound up selling 7 million copies of that first record.
She and I were at your house at the same time.
That's right.
And I heard her saying, he's got a showroom in his house. And the showroom has a bar, and the view from the showroom is of the city of Nashville. And that's where I first heard Gretchen.
Yeah, she's just phenomenal. And I think that's back to the point of why did I build that house with that view? Because there's people like her every day moving into Nashville that are just incredibly talented people. So, you know, Gretchen's one, a guy named Cowboy Troy out of Dallas, Texas, who, you know, he's down there selling shoes at a Foot Locker in Dallas, Texas. And I called him up and said, hey, me and this crazy guy named Big Kenny just got a record deal. He goes, oh, that's great, man. I said, we want you to come up and rap on our record. Now, he raps to country music, which sounds like that's impossible. And I thought the same thing till I heard him do it, and I went, that actually sounds pretty legit what he's doing, because he's rapping about country stuff, you know, and he's a real guy. So he came up and rapped on the record, and next thing you know, he's on tour with us and is still on tour with us 14 years later and has had a big career.
I met him. He's great, yeah. How'd you and Big Kenny get together?
Well, Big Kenny's from Virginia, so he had moved down to Nashville as more like a rock guy, but really artistic kind of rock and roll, kind of poetic rock and roll. Big Kenny's hard to define in words. You kind of have to see him and meet him to understand him, but you know, this big personality and this over-the-top kind of music, and we had a commonality with a friend. And so she had worked with Kenny and I both and knew us separately and said, you two guys need to meet each other. I said, okay. And she said, John, come out. Big Kenny's playing a show. You got to come see it. It was down there at Douglas Corner on 8th Avenue. You know where that is?
Oh, sure, yeah.
And so I went in there and I saw this guy with this long hair, and he's acting all crazy on stage, and I went, I don't know about this. Then I watched his set and I went, that's pretty impressive, some of the stuff he's doing, and I'm thinking through it. And then at the end of his set, he pulls up this big plastic bag full of individually wrapped pieces of bubble gum. You know, that's like hard as a piece of gravel. You can't chew it. You're not supposed to eat that stuff, I don't think. But he reaches down into it and he goes, I just want to make sure everybody goes home with a little bit of something. And he throws it out across the audience. And the very first piece, and like in slow motion, I see it going, what, pow, and hit me right underneath my cowboy hat. I said, now I know I don't like this guy. This is, But when it was over, we shook hands, and the next week wrote a song together. That was in '99. We've now written over 500 songs together, and you know the career of Big and Rich. So you never know where you're going to meet something great.
Why don't you sing another song for us? Huh?
Well, are we singing here? Or are we going up front, boys? We're going up to the big band?
I tell you what.
All right.
Let's go up on the red carpet.
All
you
right,
go up
I
on the
love
red
that.
carpet, and I'm going to go out in the audience and
you, Ray.
watch you. Thank you,
do it.
John.
Thank you, guys. It is quite an honor to be on Ray Stevens CabaRay Nashville show. Man, what an honor to be invited. And he asked me to sing a couple of songs that were kind of important to me. And this first one, I have to start off by asking, how many veterans do we have in our audience? You hold your hand up, please. Look at that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All you fellas. Want to say thank you for your sacrifice to this country, guys. Thank you for being veterans and what that means to our country. It's something I know it's important to Ray. It's important to me. And I think one of the greatest things about country music is that we're probably the only genre of music out there where we get to write songs about our country, about our veterans, about our active duty, and they actually get on the radio and people know them, you know? That's a big thing, I think, in country music. Something to be proud of. I had the great honor of being able to grow up around one of my grandfathers, Papa Rich, and at 17 years old, he was living in Glasgow, Kentucky, and he got so aggravated and so really just upset because every week the train would come back through Glasgow with more caskets. And it would be neighbors, uncles, cousins, people he'd worked with, people he went to school with, and he wasn't allowed to fight because he was 17. And he's telling me this story at about 79 or 80 years old. And he said, man, I looked at him and I said, I don't understand because I can run, I can jump, I can shoot, put me in. And they just wouldn't take him. He was 17. So he had an older sister, and he got her to walk him down there and act like she was his mother and signed on behalf of him saying he was 18 when he wasn't 18. And they took him in. Well, he was about 5'3", 120 pounds. And he got into the Army, and sure enough, he could shoot and fight so good that they put him in a special forces unit, and they called him tunnel rats, which is what in the Pacific they would send the little guys into the hole. You guys know what I'm talking about. They'd send them into the cave with a flamethrower and a grenade belt, and their job was to flush the Japanese out the other side of that cave where we could take them prisoner. And so he did that for 3 years of World War II and wound up with 6 Purple Hearts. So he kept getting injured, and they'd fix him up, put him back in. Back then, you had to win, man. I mean, we had to win. And so Purple Heart didn't necessarily send you home at that point. They'd patch you up and send you back in. So I wish I would have written this song while he was still alive. It was probably 6 months after he passed away. He was just on my mind, and I said, I'm going to write a song about him. It's a simple little title. It's called The Good Lord and the Man, which is what I called him. He was the man. It goes like this. He was one of the millions who signed up to defend us long ago in 1941. But when they sucker punched us in Pearl Harbor, he fought under MacArthur, 17, with an Army Thompson gun. Well, he stormed a lot of beaches, slept in jungles with the leeches. He saw things a young man should never see. And when they shot him in the shoulder, he got back up and he marched forward. Left a lot of brothers dead in Kwajalein. And if it wasn't for the good Lord and the man, there wouldn't be a breath of freedom in this land. But now I see people on my TV taking shots at Uncle Sam. I hope they always remember why they can. 'Cause we'd all be speaking German, living under the flag of Japan, if it wasn't for the good Lord and the man. If it wasn't for the good Lord and the man. Now I'm the grandson of a soldier, and I'd fight the whole world over if duty called and freedom's on the line. Thanks to the greatest generation and the ones still fighting for our nation, I've never had to kill for my way of life. And if it wasn't for the good Lord and the man, there wouldn't be a breath of freedom in this land. When I see people on my TV taking shots at Uncle Sam, I hope they always remember why they can. 'Cause we'd all be speaking German, living under the flag of Japan, if it wasn't for the good Lord and man. I'll play. If it wasn't for the good Lord and the man, there wouldn't be a breath of freedom in this land. When I see people on my TV taking shots at Uncle Sam, I hope they always remember why they can. 'Cause we'd all be speaking German, living under the flag of Japan, if it wasn't for the good Lord and the man. If it wasn't for the good Lord and the man.
Hi, this is Ray Stevens with some great news. My CabaRay gift shop has gone digital. You no longer have to drive to Tennessee to see all the stuff we have for you to enjoy and buy. Take your time and take a nice long look around at all the ball caps, t-shirts, monkeys and squirrels. We have keychains, cups, mouse pads, and books, CDs, DVDs, and so much more. Everything we have in the gift shop is now available to you here online. So fill up that shopping cart.
You know, music is a powerful thing. I think throughout history we've seen songwriters and musicians really impact things. You think about Francis Scott Key, right? Writing the Star Spangled Banner in the moment. And there was a time in my life in 2009, and we were all there watching it on the news. Remember when the stock market crashed and they started bailing out all the banks, and then you saw the CEOs of the companies were cashing in their bonus checks, and you saw them on jets heading off to the Caribbean, and all these people are losing their jobs, especially like up in the car industry in Detroit. And made me mad enough to throw my boot at the TV. I was so just sideways watching that like we all were. I said, well, I don't know what I can do about it except maybe I'll write a song about it. So I sat down and I wrote this song never thinking it'd be on the radio, but this wound up being a song actually outside of Big and Rich that became a really big hit song, I think because it had a populist message like that. It was something everybody was feeling. So for our good buddy Ray, we're going to play a little Shuttin Detroit Down. My daddy taught me in this country everyone's the same. You work hard for your dollar and you never pass the blame when it don't go your way. Now I see all these big shots whining on my evening news about how they're losing billions, and it's up to me and you to come running to the rescue. Well, pardon me if I don't shed a tear, but they're selling make-believe and we don't buy that here. 'Cause in the real world they're shutting Detroit down, while the boss man takes his bonus pay and jets on out of town. DC's bailing out them bankers while the farmer auctions ground. Yeah, while they're living it up on Wall Street in that New York City town, Here in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. Here in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. Well, that old man's been working in that plant most all his life. Now his pension plan's been cut in half and he can't afford to die. It's a crying shame, 'cause he ain't the one to blame. And when I look down and see his calloused hands, well, let me tell you, friend, it gets me fighting mad. Hey! 'Cause in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. Yeah, while the boss man takes his bonus pay, shuts on out of town. DC's bailing out them bankers while the farmer auctions ground. Yeah, while they're living it up on Wall Street in that New York City town. Here in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. I'll play it, son. Yeah, while they're living it up on Wall Street in that New York City town. Here in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. Here in the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. In the real world, they're shutting Detroit down. They're shutting Detroit down.
Oh, yeah. John Rich, folks. That was terrific, John. Wow. Each time I let you hurt me, I swear that it's the last. I long to be your lover, but you just want me for the laughs. There are those who think I'm charming. Yeah, they think I'm Mr. Cool, but with you, I'm just a clown, a joker and a fool. But you don't deserve my anger. No, you're not the one to blame. I'm the silly moth that keeps on flirting with your flame. All you do is curl your finger, I come running to your side, ignoring all the tears and pain, swallowing my pride. And baby, your bozo's back again. Yeah, put a big red nose on me, hand me down my baggy pants with the polka dots and then crank up that old Calliope. I know I swore I wouldn't come around. Oh, but there's no use, why pretend? Guess I was born to be your clown. Yeah, baby, Bozo's back again. Just like a bozo painted on a kitty's punching bag. You knock me down and I'll bounce right back, pretending it's a gag. Might as well wear grease paint the way I play my part. But like Pagliacci, I'm playing with a real live broken heart. Baby, back again. Yeah, put a big red nose on me, hand me down my baggy pants with the polka dots in there. Crank up that old Calliope. I know I swore I wouldn't come around. Oh, but there's no use, so why pretend? Guess I was born to be your clown. Baby, your Bozo's back again. Oh, yeah. Thank you. You know, I guess I've gotten to that stage in life. I mean, I'm playing a lot of golf lately, and everybody's always looking for a new, expensive club or some secret to take strokes off their game. I found it. An eraser. You know, I really got serious about the game a while back. I even went to get some lessons, and the golf pro worked with me for about 6 months. And then one day he said he thought we'd made a breakthrough. He said for 2 weeks I should lay my clubs aside, and then after that 2 weeks I should just give up completely. The sound of that music reminds me it's time for me and all my friends to join in dancing us out of here. Ma'am, would you do me the honor?
This is Bill Cody saying so long until next time from CabaRay Nashville.
Come join us here at the CabaRay. That's the Ray Stevens CabaRay and Showroom right here in West Nashville. We're easy to find at the Charlotte Avenue exit off I-40 West. It's the place in Nashville for a special entertainment and dining experience. There's great food, all your favorite wines and mixed drinks, a fun piano bar where you can sing along and dance. And there's the Ray Stevens Show, where I'll sing all my biggest hits with Nashville's best musicians and singers. So whether it's a special date night, entertaining friends and family, or you're just coming out to sing along in the piano bar, whatever your reason, the CabaRay is a fun place to enjoy a full night of entertainment. And the parking is free. So come see me, Ray Stevens, at the CabaRay. Call 615-327-4630 or go to RayStevensCabaRay.com. Make your plans now.